Hey guys, my name is Lee and welcome to episode 3 of my drawing tutorial series. In this video we're going to be learning how to draw a buttocks and we're going to start touching how to draw legs from behind, which pretty much applies to be how it is in front as well without the knee part. So let's get started. First off, we're just going to do what we learned in the first video. We're going to go ahead and draw our one shape very roughly. Just so we get a rough idea of where things are going to go. Once I get this shape, I'm just going to round things up just so it's a little better for my eyes, and just roughly indicate where the piece of my body will go. So I'm doing this very, very quickly and roughly. But nonetheless, it's still pretty much the same. So you see, I just did what we learned in 15 minutes in what would be about 30 seconds or so. So now in a different layer, I'm just going to draw a cleaner version of this, just the outline, because that's all we need. And not only that, but I'm going to switch back to my other layer, and we're gonna draw a 3. So this part is kind of fun-ish, yet annoying, because you kind of want to follow your lines that you already have while keeping a very uniform curvature, I guess you could say. So something kind of like this. Once you've got this shape, you don't really need to bother with how this looks. All you need is the outside, and you're just going to curve in a little bit to the point where it kind of falls a little flat on the under part. And if you want, you can just go ahead and indicate this part here. So once I've got this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of what I have underneath, keep that, and from the furthest point, I'm just going to draw straight lines in a kind of a triangular shape-ish motion thing, which I kind of failed a little bit. But you get the point. Something relatively like so. And let's say, just going to point something out very quickly. If the girl has thin legs and there is a gap between, so actually let me take something of a smaller brush. So let's say she has very, very thin legs and there's a gap. You will see the vagina like this, but we're not going to go into that much detail today. So let's get started. On a different layer, I will start doing the shading the same way we did with the breast. So we're just going to go around, follow the flow, and just shade away. There's not much for me to cover in this tutorial. I mean, I could say how I found this trick, which is kind of funny because I was just in class drawing and I was thinking about, I have to figure out something for episode 3 that could really work, because at first I thought about the nose, because I will be showing you guys in a different video that you could actually draw a nose out of the number 3 with a similar kind of motion we did with episode 1 and 2 where you mirror. But yeah, pretty much just that actually. So I'm just jumping around my opacity. Sorry if my keyboard seems very loud. My microphone is literally next to it right now. I shouldn't even call what I'm using a microphone since it's just my cell phone. Yay! Lack of budget. So let's just get rid of these lines so you already get an idea of the bum shape. It's kind of hard with all the gray everywhere. I'm just going to make these lines a bit harder. I'm going to take a smaller brush and kind of define a bit more. So the thing I like about shading is it's kind of well, when you're working like this, it's not that easy to really mess things up. I mean, it can get easy if you're working with a strong opacity, but if your opacity is not that high, then you could just keep going until you get really what you want. At least that's my opinion anyways. So once you get this shape, I'm going to go ahead and take some white to brighten some parts up. So this, and we're going to switch back to a higher opacity. Oh yeah, something kind of like this. It really is round. Make it just kind of look round, I guess. And go back to this, closer to invisible opacity, just to add a bit more of a shine. Now if you really want to get fun and creative, you could go ahead and highlight the lower back over here and the top of the back. This is just kind of basic shading. Once again, I mean, once you get a really good understanding of the human body and where certain lights go compared to other lights, well, I'm talking about lights like it's a light bulb or something. Well, once you get more comfortable with your shading and your understanding, it's a lot more on point, or however I could call that. Just you could really just start shading out the other parts of the body. There's not much that's like hidden, like some kind of secret trick on how to fix certain things. It's really just a lot of practice, and I guess you could say researching to a certain extent. It's not like you're researching for a school project or something. It's not that complex, but there's still a certain amount of complexity, I guess. And so I'm just adding some random shading because the video is pretty short. What else can I say? Yeah, I guess I could talk a bit more about the legs. So yeah, like I was saying, this legs for women are always in a bit more of a triangular shape. As for men, we're a lot more rectangular. Right now I'm just gonna go ahead and erase a bit of this skin, just so it's a lot easier for us to see what we're working with. If some of you are wondering as well how to draw in clean lines without having to always jump around with your pen, I don't really have much to say on that. I mean, it's really just about, well, I mean, when I draw cleaner lines and I don't cheat, I really just go very slowly to achieve what I've been desiring. Other than that, I mean, I don't do much. Just go with what I've got. So now I'm just adding a bit of lighting here and there without much of a direct kind of light source. Just kind of just guessing things up. For the leg, what I can say is, well, at least the back, once you find your center, that should be somewhere around here. Yeah. Actually, wait, legs are roughly the same length as the one. You can make them slightly longer, so if we were using what I've got here, you could bring them down to underneath the bum, and that would be your length right there for your leg. So if that's what I was using, then starting from here to about here, this is where my knee would be. But I kind of rather have my knee roughly more around here, so I would just go ahead and draw the leg, finish it in a round cut, and then kind of draw 2 ovals for the calves, and then finish my triangular point. And then down here you would have the feet, which here we see backwards. But there's not much for me to talk about that on. I guess I can give you a little preview on the next episode, since we're going to be drawing pretty much the arms. So now let's say my shoulder should be roughly here on both sides. So knowing my shoulder's there, I would just draw my shoulder and then draw my arm. Once I reach the elbow, it's gonna come in, and same thing goes for the legs. I kind of I guess, well, the legs is you could do it either side. You know, you could do it either on the outside and inside, or you could just kind of draw it in like that from the inside. But anyways, that's for another tutorial. And that's it for today. So thanks a lot for watching once again, guys, and see you all next time.